this week on the Bubble Chat.
I think about how many co-hosts she's had.
We like to, well, I know I did with my son. I always let him make decisions.
I love the Day of the Deaf. Also, can I also bring up the fact that she's from the Bay Area?
Her baby looks just like her. Definitely has her eyes.
When they would bring up problems or they didn't see a problem.
What I really found disgusting is that allegedly the Los Angeles County had were allegedly saving shots of her Instagram. Watch your kids. Watch your kids, people. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bubble Chat. This is our 10th episode, and we really appreciate you being here. We hope that you're having a great day so far. Shay is out this week, so joining us today is Ruben. Thank you, Ruben, for joining us and helping us out.
That's her
And
husband.
then we also have Shan. Hey, Shan girl. All right. So they're joining us to celebrate the 10th episode. You may know her, Shan, as a fitness instructor. And
Or
we
Turn Up Fitness.
Huh?
You're
all about that fitness, right?
Turn Up Fitness.
Her brand is Turn Up Fitness. Please welcome Vashann Jackson. He be giving all the government names, don't he? Also, today is on March the 2nd. And March is Women's History Month. Yeah. As March 8th becomes an International Women's Day. With that being said, for the 10th time, let's get started with today's topic.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You know, we got a lot of tea to spill. So, our first story today is about Live with Kelly and Ryan. Soon to be Live with Kelly and Mark. That's right. Television personality Ryan Seacrest has announced that he will be moving on from Live with Kelly and Ryan after 6 years of being Kelly's co-host. According to CNN, Ryan admitted that his decision to make this season's show his last was bittersweet. Seacrest will be replaced. Well, to me, not really, because no one can replace Ryan Seacrest. But he will be replaced by Kelly Ripa's husband, Mark Consuelos, who has been frequently guest hosted the show, which is what Shan is doing, as it will be renamed Life with Kelly and Mark. Kelly stated, "I'm so grateful to have spent the last 6 years beside my dear friend and too many decades to count, and will miss starting my days with Ryan." So guys, what do you think about Ryan's decision to move on from the show after so long? I'll start with you, Shan.
Ryan's decision to move. You know what? I'm a pass. I pass.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you, Ruben? What are your thoughts?
So I recently was watching Live with Kelly and Ryan, and I think about how many co-hosts she's had. I think starting with Regis, and then I think Michael Strahan, and now Ryan, and then it's going to move to Mark Consuelos. And it seems like the one constant is her. So I think Michael Strahan had issue with her because of her, I guess you might call diva-ish ways. And I think it's just basically her show now. It was at one time Regis's show, but it's become her show. So whoever's putting her Ryan's place really doesn't matter because it's just Kelly's show now. It's no longer anybody else's show. It's just Kelly's show at this point. So nobody else. They could probably stick a dummy in that spot, and it's just Live with Kelly and whoever, and it just keeps on moving.
Yeah, and I think one thing that I do want to mention is that I think, and me and my producer Gina, talked about this, that fans are starting to become worried about him due to health exhaustion, because it looks like he made a few absence. That's what I heard. I don't know for sure. And I think he just wants to focus more so on his job as the host of American Idol with Lionel Richie and Katy Perry, and in addition to his KIIS-FM radio show. And I think he also wants to focus more so on his charity called the Ryan Seacrest Foundation Studios. Those projects are like, they feel like he wants to focus on them more, because like it definitely shows the health exhaustion, and from what I've been hearing so far from him to do those shows and the show with Kelly. So I'm really happy he made that move, even though we're all gonna miss him.
I'll say something about that. I've seen their show before, and I'm just going to speak from my experience. When you are in a space and you just feel like you don't want to do it no more, and you want to move on into something that you feel it. And so I came from that space when when did I leave? In November. I resigned from my position being a wellness coordinator and supervisor, and it just wasn't what I wanted to do anymore. I did it for over 5 years, and I just wanted to move on in what I like doing. Sometimes you wake up and you just feel like I'm doing it just because, and so when he say bittersweet, he probably wanted to stay, but then he wanted to follow his heart.
Right.
So that's just my
I absolutely feel you, Jan.
Thought on that.
And Eve?
Yeah, so I don't know him. I don't know his health situation. I like to be respectful of people's health situations. And I could, it's allegedly, I could see if he was stepping down from all those positions, or maybe 3 of those positions, and it being a health issue. But him just stepping down at one, he got 3 other jobs. He still has millions coming in. So I don't know how much relief that's going to actually give him. And also I want to discuss Kelly's diva behavior. I don't know her, and I don't know if she has diva behavior. But for me, I have a problem with that title, because so many times when women have high expectations and they're professional and they're bringing in these networks millions upon millions of dollars, and when they make requests, then all of a sudden it's diva behavior. So I don't know if she's a diva or not, but there's plenty of men who don't hesitate, don't stutter to request high salaries, less hours, PTO, bonus packages, stock options, and we don't ever hear them being called divos. You get what I'm saying? So, knowing your worth is an important thing, and if knowing your worth is being a diva, then have at it, Kelly. I remember the show when it was Regis and Kathy Lee, and then Kathy, there was some controversy way back when, that husband was, had him a few side dishes, And so shortly after that, she kind of left the show and focused in on family. And then he interviewed several co-hosts, and he settled on Kelly. And then, he retired because he was up there. And then, like Joanne said, she had Michael Strahan and some other hosts, and now Ryan. And I think for as long as they lasted, I think that the collaboration really worked for them. They both were laughing all the way to the bank. So again, he just might want to shift his focus. And also, this is an opportunity. Because we're not talking about it, but Mark is her tenderoni. That's her boo thing. So now that he's co-host, there is more money coming to Mama. It's like 2 paychecks for her. You know what I mean? And she get to look at her. She get to look at her man next to her. and keep an eye on him because
At home
they
and
live
at work.
together and work together. Where he
Yeah,
gonna
I
go?
think,
You know what I'm saying?
They
yeah,
gonna see a lot of each other.
Big up to Kelly. Do your thing, Ma.
yeah, and I think more in all sense, I think that Ryan just wants to do what makes him happy, and I think that's the most very important thing to do is just do whatever makes you happy. I remember, and I think I talked about this on the bubble chat before when I was a drummer. Playing the drums as a career really, didn't make me happy. I did it because I was, making my teachers happy. I was making my friends happy. I was making my family happy. And I really didn't know that it wasn't making, I was really just focused on making them happy and not myself happy until like when COVID came and I was looking at motivational quotes, to like help with my depression during that time. And I think that's what Ryan was trying to do is just do what makes him happy. And this is a similar situation. Most of you don't even know her, but Jessie Nelson was in Little Mix for 9 years, for like 9 years, but then she left because it was taking a toll on her mental health. She wants to focus on what's making her happy, which is why she released that song with Nicki Minaj, called Boys. I can't really sing it because of copyright. But yeah, I'm really, really happy in what she's doing right now. And I'm also really, really excited to see what the little, because Little Mix is on hiatus right now. So they're doing like solo projects. But I can't wait for those also. So really, really, I think Ryan's focus is that he just wants to make him happy. And as long as he's happy, we're all happy.
Mm.
Well, his happiness doesn't have nothing to do with mine, but I'm happy that he happy.
Right. Okay.
All right, Shan, it's that time for let's talk about some Zaya.
Let's talk about some Zaya. Okay, so former NBA player Dwayne Wade's daughter, Zaya Wade, has been granted a legal name and gender change after his ex-wife, Savon Funches. Is that how you say her name? Funches.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, her Wade, his mom. Attempts to block Zaya's transition. As many of you know, Zaya came out as transgender in 2019. According to Daily Mail and Radar Online, Dwayne argued in court that he had full authority to make choices on behalf of Zaya when awarded custody of his two children against Siobhan back in 2011. Back in November, Siobhan filed an objective to the Los Angeles County Superior Court over Zaya's name change, while accusing Wade of exploiting their daughter for financial use. Dwayne claimed that the petition is about allowing Zaya to take on the milestones of being a young adult with confidence and joy. Guys, I want to know your thoughts on Zaya's victory.
Wow.
Now, how old is Zaya?
I think she's 20.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nah, she's not no 20.
I don't know for sure. If I'm being
She is
honest.
16.
I think she's in her teens. I think she's.
I heard 16.
She's a
She's
teenager.
not 18 yet. I don't think she's 18 yet.
No, she can't be 18 yet because there will be no court about it.
Yeah.
So she's a minor. I know she's a teenager. I don't have the specific
15.
age. I want to put her around 15 or 16.
Oh, she's 15.
Yeah.
She's 15.
That's a real deep one.
I thought she was 20, but she's now 15.
She's 15. We like to, well, I know I did with my son. I always let him make decisions. And that's just the person that he was. He made decisions about, and his was with sports. So I didn't go out there and find stuff for him to do. Like since he was in the 4th grade, he came, I'm playing soccer, I'm playing football, or whatever he was playing. And that's with sports. And I get the fact that you want your child to be able to make decisions.
Yeah.
And I try not to be judgmental, but in this world, we tend to be judgmental. And that's really a big one. I don't have any pushback from Dwayne and Gabrielle and his mom. If that's a deep one.
Yeah, I
Because
think
I don't know them, but if the child is happy and the parents are happy, well, the mom is not happy with it. Maybe she should probably they should sit down and have a talk. And co-parenting is very important. It's very important. And the fact that she's bringing up their other child and they're making money off the other child, to me, it just sounds like she's a little bitter a little bit. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. And she's probably upset at the fact that her son, I don't know if she has other kids, but she's probably upset at the fact that her son decided to change his gender as a mom. Dwayne is okay with that, but I think they need intervention. I think they need to sit down and have a talk about that. And as far as their daughter, I watch her all the time. Their daughter, the page that they have for her daughter, and I think it's really nice what they have for her and how they do it, and they let her be herself too. But with Zaya, that's deep. For her being 15, or him, her, he, she being 15, that's really deep at that age to want to change his gender like that. Yeah. But it happens. You know, some kids grow up like that. Some kids, and if that's what he wants, then that's what he wants. And if when he grow up, when he get a little older, you know, he has a right to go back if he want to. But that's a deep subject for me.
Yeah, you know, I think gender change is permanent, and Dwayne's ex-wife felt like she needs to wait until she's 18 to make this decision. So, do you think that Zaya should have waited until she was mature enough, or was she right to change her gender at such a young age?
I think she had a lot of support with that decision, because as I think back, Gabrielle used to have like dress up days with him before he even had this name change. So he had a lot of support making that decision. So he felt comfortable with it. And the parents he lived with felt comfortable with it. And so, you know, that's a big thing for the mom. I don't know how I would react in that situation. I think I would probably feel some type of way, but at the same time, you know, I would want my child to be happy. So, yeah, you know, I would have to get used to it.
Uncle Ruben? Oh, go ahead.
No, you can let Uncle Ruben go.
Oh, okay.
So I think they've found as with transgender kids that they've talked to psychologists and they've talked to those that have had the opportunity to sit down and that gender dysmorphia, and they've had that ability to sit down and discuss it at length with professionals, and they feel like she's made that informed decision with professionals who have guided her in the right direction. She's not being pushed into this decision of changing her gender. She's being guided by professionals. It's not like, oh, I woke up yesterday and now I want to change my gender. It's being done in a way that is done with care. And what they found was the earlier that she can start hormone treatment, the better her success is with changing her gender and stopping the testosterone from developing and her turning into developing into a man, or maturing into a man, as opposed to you know, doing that part of it. So I think that's part of beginning earlier in the transition as a transgender person. So I think that that's why if a person, because I think we talk about people are born that way, and I can start talking about genetics, and we can have a long talk about genetics and how things are screwed up in the egg, and where we get XXY and we get XX and there's not a Y, or some things are not fully developed and the baby comes out different, and that all happens, and sometimes things don't fully mature and it all just pops out different. And that's why we end up with transgender children. But we're not talking about a large group of people. We're talking about less than 1% of people that are having this occur to them. So the earlier we can get them treatment, the earlier we can put them on the right path, the better off it is for their outcomes, the better off, because we're having kids that aren't getting that treatment, that we have like Arkansas that is blocking them access to even talking to professionals, where they're committing suicide over the situations. So if they can't even talk to professionals about beginning this type of treatment, then I think it's a win for Zaya Wade overall. And I think it's a win for her in the sense of she's able to change her gender and change her name. And I feel bad for the mother in a sense that she doesn't necessarily understand what's going on with her child. But that's a conversation for her and Dwayne Wade to have with her child. That's just my point of view.
Any?
So I'm happy for Z Wade. I do believe that some children in the womb are missing. The assignment got wrong. And so when a child is born, they feel one way, but their body says another. You get what I'm saying? It's kind of like my knees. You know, they were misassigned. I feel like I should have like Meg Thee Stallion knees, maybe some Beyonce knees, but I just got these knees that are just jacked up, right? Mm-hmm. I know the history. I know a little bit as an outsider reading about things. I know that the divorce between the Wades was very, it was not a friendly, let's part ways divorce. And even years after the divorce was final, you could see her complaining about money and all that kind of stuff. So I don't, you can only co-parent when both parents are willing to co-parent.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, a lot of times when people stay together and still sometimes a person, like Ruben and I, we're married, and he's been a great parent. I think I've been an okay parent, but he does. I don't know if we co-parent a lot, and we're together. You get what I'm saying? What one does more than the other, kind of thing, right? And Dwayne has custody of the child. He is the primary caregiver and primary supporter. He listened to his daughter. She told him her needs and her wants. He has he's a multimillionaire. He has access to the best doctors, whether it be psychiatrists, therapists, doctors. And as Ruben really stated earlier, she has the best health care she can possibly get. And so if this is gonna, we never know when tomorrow is promised. I hope she lives until 105, but at the end of the day, we don't know if she's gonna make it to 18. None of us know when we're gonna go, right? So she should be able to start her journey once she's went through all the steps and she gets all the okays, and that's it. Sometimes as a parent, your child may not be the dream you had when you put that baby in your arm, but at the end of the day, it's not your right. It's not your right to try to make your child be something you want them to be or what you need them to be. It's about you trying to help guide your children to fulfill their dreams. Would I feel some type of way if one of my kids came down and said, hey, if my son, who I know him as a he and a him, and he's my son, and he's always been my baby boy, if he comes down and he says, hey, Mom, I feel like a woman, I know I'm really going to be like, well, I'm going to ask him, I said, when did this happen, son? How long has this been going on? And, we need to get you some help, and not help in a negative way, but help in a positive way to say, hey, let's go through what's going on with you. You get what I'm saying? Because I don't want to be politically correct in this moment. I believe Zaya is a she. That's how I view her. That's how she identifies herself. But there are grown people who have went through gender reassignment, and they have regretted it. And these are grown people. So that doesn't affect my opinion on Zaya. However, I just want to acknowledge that there are, and whatever small percentage that is of the 1%, there are some people who, regret it.
I want to say one more thing as a parent, and I think the biggest thing when you have a child that young making that type of decision, I think the biggest thing is to make sure that this is a decision that they made for themselves and not because something happened to them. Like somebody fondled with them when they were coming up and nobody ever knew. So you have to really, as a parent, you have to go really, really have that conversation with them to understand where they're coming from, making that type of decision. Because so many times in families and big families, things like that happen. So I think that would just be my biggest and number one thing. And after that, and understanding that and knowing that this is really your decision and this is what you want to do without anything have happened to you coming up. Yeah. That's a really big conversation to have.
Absolutely.
All right.
What you think about it, Juwan?
Yeah, I definitely agree that I have been an LGBTQIA+ advocate since day one, and I've been supporting people who came out as gay, bisexual, queer, non-binary. Yeah, and I think everybody is included, and I think Dwayne Wade gave his speech at the NAACP award when he and Gabrielle Union won, and I thought it was beautiful. I didn't watch any of it, but I did hear about it, and I thought that was beautiful that he did. So, as Lady Gaga said, Zaya was born this way.
That's what's up.
All right. So we're gonna tackle another Z, and that's gonna be Zendaya. Yes. So actress Zendaya has made a dazzling return to the spotlight as she posed in a green and black vintage Versace gown for the NAACP Image Awards in a video.
Bless you.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Bless you.
Thank you. Zendaya poses while showing off a glamorous look for the awards and was nominated for 2 awards for Outstanding Actress in a Drama Series, and then also Entertainer of the Year. Although both were won by Angela Bassett. Guys, what do you think about Zendaya's return to the red carpet? Because can I go first? Can I go first?
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, so first of all, I love Zendaya. I've loved her since she was, a child actress, and I just love the way she carries herself. I love the fact that she's very proud to be a Black woman in the entertainment industry. She doesn't shy away from that. She embraces it. I love that she stood up to what was her name? Giuliani? What was her name? I can't remember her name. But when she made a derogatory remark about her locks being inappropriate for the red carpet, so she stood up to her, and I just really love her. I just really love her, and I think that she's one of our fashion icons. Because she brings it each and every time. I believe her stylist is Law, and I mean he just nails it each and every time. I loved her hair. She had a beautiful bob with the swoop wavy bang. Her makeup was perfection, and I think someone yelled out to her in the crowd.
Yeah, that was like, yeah, that was like, yeah, what's the queen?
Yes, and she responded to it. She just loved that, and
yeah,
I think she's a class act and definitely a style icon. So I mean, she did it. What's your thoughts?
I thought, huge congratulations for Angela Bassett, but I still think that they should have won those awards. But it is what it is. We have no control. She was nominated at the SAG Awards, which I watched a couple of days ago. I still feel like she would have won those also, but it is what it is. But yeah, I love the Day of the Deaf. Also, can I also bring up the fact that she's from the Bay Area?
She from Oakland, California.
Yeah, she's from Oakland, California, and she was the first actress that I've seen who's from Disney Channel who's from the Bay Area, because I remember watching her from Disney Channel Shake It Up to the person that she is today, and she really, really inspired me to become an actor from the Bay Area, which is why I wanted to major in theater when right after I graduated high school. Well, I got my associate's degree from a community college from liberal arts and humanities, and I did take some theater classes, but my major was just liberal arts. And then as of now, my major is theater and broadcast journalism. Also, can we talk about the fact that my mom thought that it would be a good idea for me to attend the same school that Zendaya went to, Oakland School for the Arts? Did anyone know that?
I did not know that.
Well, guess what? I decided I did not accept that offer. I did not do it at all. I know. What in the fuck? Why in the fuck did I not accept when I turned down an opportunity to express myself in the arts as a young teenager? Why would Joanne Johnson even do that? Now I will say this: at the time, I was like very nervous and shy of performing in front of millions of people, and while I was playing the drums, I was like feeling like nervous. Let me tell you something. There is not on a day that goes by where I have not felt nervous as performing a drum set at a very young age. You know what I mean? And I think when it comes to theater, you just have to like just show bravery. And as time went on, she was very. I became not today, but I became very brave. I became very brave, to perform, not playing drums as a career, but like public speaking in general. And I chose, and that's why I chose to stay at Making Waves before I graduated throughout middle school and high school, because I really wasn't ready to make that change. But at the same time, I kind of like regretted that choice now, because I really love theater. I really love acting. I also know that Kaylani, they went to Oakland School of the Arts as well. But one thing that I learned from this is you can't change the choices that you make. What you can do is imagine if you wanted to make that choice. If you know what I mean.
I think that we all have our own paths, and you made the decision to go to, I mean, I don't know why the fuck you made the decision, but you made the decision not to go to that school because that wasn't your path. You had a different path. And I think the path you're on are great. So what I say is don't regret it because I think you're doing awesome. And I think you made the right choice for you and you followed your own path. You're doing great because you have to remember, you know, I remember when you were born and I remember when you were a toddler and they first diagnosed you with autism. And I remember the doctor saying, telling your mom that you were most likely never going to be able to speak or talk.
Or potty trained.
And last time I looked, you wiping your own ass and you sure talking. So you get what I'm saying? So the things that the doctor said, you have surpassed that by leaps and bounds. You had a teacher who told you when you had told her you had dreams of going to college, she told you it wasn't going to happen for you. And where are you at now?
Who said that? Where's she at? What's her name?
Wait. I'm still trying to get the name because we still need to jump her. But no, I'm just joking.
I overheard
coming
it.
For her.
Just to clarify, I overheard it. I'm not going to talk about it that much, but I overheard it. I did. I just overheard it. Just to clarify.
But she said, okay, you overheard it, but she still shouldn't have. That should have never came out her mouth. Whoever she was talking to, it wasn't her place to try to dim your light or project whatever bias she had in her heart towards you. And she should have never said anything where any child could hear her say that.
Or anybody of that matter.
When this is over, I need her name.
Right. To give it to me when you get it. If you get it before me, make sure you pass it on.
Okay. Uncle Ruben.
Well, I'm glad you're in college, but getting back to Zendaya, y'all are forgetting about this white outfit that she had on stage at the NAACP Image Awards. That's fire too. I don't know if y'all saw that. Did y'all see that one too?
Yeah,
I didn't see that one.
All I see was
I know that green and black.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
The green and the green and black dress is amazing, but she also looks amazing with her on stage outfit as well. It's like a white skirt with a white bralette or white bra top. It's amazing. So she's a beautiful woman, and whatever she wears it. So I just pulled up the image, and she wore two outfits.
Oh wow!
You see it now?
Wow!
Yeah. So just not just that her red carpet look, but what she wore on stage.
That's really yeah. I'm not mad at her.
I didn't see that one.
It is gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's
she pulled off that vintage look, but she pulled off that modern look too.
That's a vintage look too. Both of them are vintage.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. With the stars.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Now y'all see. I'm
she
glad.
shows so much confidence, like even without speaking. Just looking at her, she shows a lot of confidence. I was looking at her. I'm sorry, Uncle Ruben, was you finished?
No, I'm done.
Oh, okay. I was looking at her doing a lip sync for Erykah Badu, Tyrone, and 24 Karat Magic. Like she is.
Yeah. Yes, I remember what she battled with Tom Holland.
But you wouldn't think that she. I remember when
she was battling with Tom Holland, who
both
of them are in the Spider franchise. And did you know Tom Holland lip synced "Umbrella" by Rihanna?
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I
Did a
remember
I have
good
to
that.
job.
send, I have to show you during the break.
She has a really confidence about herself at that age. And I really like seeing young women with that type of confidence, especially young women with that type of confidence. I love seeing that. And she definitely has it. Like she knows it. Her pose, she don't even have to talk. You just look at her and she has a lot of confidence. And I
Yeah.
really like that. Yeah.
I'm probably gonna make Uncle Ripple laugh again, but Zendaya fucking slayed. She slayed that shit. She walked that red carpet and she slayed.
And she did. I
Yes,
think that's
she
gonna
did.
be. I think I'm gonna have somebody make me that outfit for Beyonce concert.
You going?
Oh yeah, I'm going.
I know that's right.
I
I
got
heard
tickets.
you got tickets. I heard they was like some tickets was $1,000.
Oh, we ain't
That's
paying
probably like
$1,000
resale.
for no
That
tickets.
probably was like resale or something. But
No, I cannot stop laughing when
Uncle,
mom. I cannot
Uncle
stop
Ruben got
laughing
me some
when Mom
tickets.
and Eve were trying to get to that Beyonce concert. I could not stop laughing. I could not even stop
Well,
laughing at the
Auntie Eve
fact.
was getting that. Auntie Eve was going with Uncle Ruben. Because Uncle Ruben came through for Valentine's Day. He said that was my birthday, but my birthday is in May. So that was obviously Valentine's.
I was trying to get by.
Yeah, and
Oh,
I even was about to crack up when and Eve mentioned the fact that when she gets on that concert that she will be twerking.
Oh, I'm going to be twerking. I'm going to be twerking.
oh.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good concert because Beyonce shows up and out.
I think that.
I'm the one, the only one.
Ooh.
It's going down. It's
Oh.
definitely
It's
going
going
down.
down.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. On a more. Oh my God! Oh, we just been laughing. We just be laughing and just laughing since day one. We're probably going to be doing every episode of the Bubble Chat.
Uh-oh.
On a more serious note, though, before we do take a break, we want to send our positive condolences and prayers to Hayden Panettiere and her family after the tragic passing of her younger brother, Jason Panettiere, who passed away this past week at 28 years old. Jason is known for his numerous roles such as Racing Stripes, Nickelodeon's The X, and The Perfect Game. He was an actor with a kind heart, and I know in my heart that he will be truly missed. Condolences to his family and to the others affected. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Welcome back to the Bubble Chat with more of today's topics. Actress and TV personality Keke Palmer and her partner Darius Jackson welcomed their baby boy this past Monday. As many of you know, last December, Keke announced her pregnancy in an episode of Saturday Night Live, while proving that her rumors were no longer rumors when showing her baby bump recently. Recently, Keke won Best Supporting Role in Jordan Peele's latest film, Nope. Y'all, what are your thoughts on the birth of Keke's child?
Congratulations to Keke Palmer.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Congratulations. I admire this actress so much. All I know was she announced her pregnancy at SNL, and I wasn't even aware of the rumors. All I just know was that she was showing a bump. She was showing off that bump. And her her fans feel like she has a bond with them because she was showing pictures of the baby right away. You know what I mean? Because in most cases, whenever a celebrity has a baby, his or her face will be concealed, so they wouldn't show it to them. And them they just either show them off like this, like show the backside, or if they do show the face, then they have an emoji covered it on him until months to years later. And I am so happy for Keke. I remember when she was in Jumpin' from Disney Channel. I've known her. I've been watching her since Akilah and the Bee, and now that she's in the Proud Family, Louder and Prouder, the reboot, and she's also been in Nope by Jordan Peele, which I love. For some reason, I feel like Nope is not that scary as as Jordan Peele's other film, Get Out and Us, but it's still an amazing movie, and I just adored it, and I just really, really love her personality. What are your thoughts, Shan?
I am really proud of her. I am really proud of her. Her baby looks just like her. Definitely has her eyes. But welcome to motherhood.
Yes.
Welcome to motherhood for her. Yeah. I believe she will be a awesome mother. An awesome mother.
1,000,000%.
Yeah. 1,000, 1,000,000. Yep. 1,000,000,000. Yeah. Good for her.
Uncle Ruben?
Yeah, I think it's refreshing that she didn't have to broadcast that she was pregnant, and I think she let it out when she wanted to let it out. Too often, a person I follow on Twitter said we have too much access to celebrities nowadays, where it's like back in the day when I was a kid, you had mystery around celebrities. You had to read, you had to figure it out. Now it's like there's too much access. So when she revealed on SNL, I think that was enough of a leeway to let you know, okay, I'm pregnant. In a couple of months, I'm going to have a baby. That's probably enough leeway to let you know, hey, I'm pregnant. So people don't need that access. They don't need that access, and I'm happy for her. You know, I one of my favorite shows, I think, I don't know if y'all watch it, is Password. I think she hosts Password with Jimmy Fallon, and I think it's funny to watch. She's really good on that show as the host, and I loved her in Nope, and you know, like you said, Akilah and the Bee, and whatever else she's been in. I think she does a really good job in most of the roles she plays, and I think it's good for her. And you know, I hope she does well with her baby, and I hope the baby lives a healthy and happy life. And I hope that they're happy with the baby. And you know, raising a child ain't easy. Good Lord, we raised two, and it definitely ain't easy. You know, so you know, good luck to her and her partner Darius. So I hope they enjoy it, because it's fun, but it's not easy.
They're cute, but cute don't last that long, boy.
My baby's all three. My baby's cute. It lasts.
I'm 24 years old. My mom still thinks I'm cute.
I know what she means, though.
Like, forget a cute.
Let me tell y'all something. I'm 24 years old, and my mom still thinks I'm cute.
Yeah, I
It's
think
cute,
mine's
but
cute too.
I know what
but
you
he
mean.
talks.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Yeah, but just the fact that she's kept herself under the radar, like she was not a industry chick, you know, growing up here, there, and everywhere. Well, at least we didn't hear about it. You know, a lot of women have been around in the industry, and just the fact that she's kept her ladylike mentality, I really kudos to her.
Any?
Well,
I saw you doing that dance, that little dance.
I love Keke Palmer. You know, she's another child actress that I've seen grown up, and she's been very transparent. Her fans actually have a lot of access to her as far as her online presence. And you know, there was some mystery, and there's also some gaslighting with previous Hollywood talent. And I think in today's society with social media, the veil is pulled back from a lot of them, and you see a little bit more of them and how they live their life, and are they really the people you should be looking up to or admiring? And I believe that Keke is one of them, and not because she's perfect, not that she hasn't made her mistakes, which is her business, but that she's authentic to who she is. Like,
yes,
you know, outside of her, when she's hosting, I believe she's authentic to who she is. I've seen her host a cooking show. I haven't seen the Password game show that Ruben was talking about. But what's that show on HBO that we watched?
I don't know.
Which show?
With Law.
Oh, Legendary.
Legendary. I love her on Legendary. She's like one of my favorite people on Legendary. I loved her in Nope. For me, she carried the movie. So again, kudos to her. I'm so happy she had a healthy baby, and I hope being a mother, everything she hopes it is and more. I'm sure she has a lot of love to give, but she's a very transparent actress, and I like that. Like, she'll show you herself without her hair combed. She used a skincare product that really broke her out, and she had like a lot of discoloration on her face. She showed that hey, what works for somebody might not work for you. She's very, you'll see her glammed up. But she's very transparent, and I appreciate her. I think she shows the audience that I'm a human just like you. I'm a person just like you. I'm regular. Acting is not who I am. It's what I do for a living. It's my art. You get what I'm saying? And so yeah, I'm happy for her. And I hope, like I said, I hope it's a lifetime commitment being a parent. But
It really
I hope
is.
the first 18 years is easy for her.
She seems that her personality doesn't change, like on and off the camera. She seems to stay the same. Like you were saying, Eve, when she comes on and she's just basically keeping it real. And that's her conversation. That's how, she expresses herself. So I can see her being that way on and off the camera.
Yeah. Huge congratulations to Keke Palmer.
Huge congratulations.
I know in my heart that she's going to be the best. She and her partner are going to be the best parents, however they can.
Mm-hmm.
Right. For our next story, students at a local Southern California elementary school chose to celebrate both Valentine's Day and Black History Month in one of the most alarming ways. One greeting said, "My favorite cotton picker," in addition to "You're my favorite monkey." It also consists of a drawing of a monkey and a person hanging from a tree, made specifically for Black students at Pepper Tree Elementary School that is located in Upland, California. According to Christopher Newman, who was the father of two Black boys who attended this school, leaders were made aware of the racist Valentines 2 weeks before any action was taken. What do you guys think about this?
Despicable. What'd you say?
I heard I didn't even choose violence.
So I read the article and I live in kind of a racist area of Texas, and my kids kind of experience some of that stuff too. And reading the article where it's kind of a similar situation where administrators wouldn't listen to their Black students when they would bring up problems or they didn't see a problem with these situations. They didn't see that problem at all. And what was the demographic? I think it's like 36% white, 35% Mexican, and I think 3% Black. And they're like, I want to say 38 miles east of Los Angeles, this area. And what's frustrating about the article is, what should administrators do? The problem is administrators don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
They don't take anything seriously when kids bring it up to them. They don't respond. Those cards were hanging on a tree for 2 weeks. kids were being called names. They were called the N-word for a while. So they were called the N-word at a soccer game. So, and if a family comes up to the school, it's always, why are you playing the race card? But you don't listen. And it's frustrating because you should treat everybody the same regardless. And then I sit there and look at these BS ways that they want the administrators to treat these things. And I see Eve over there punching the screen, and that's all sometimes you want to do is resort to violence, because that's what these people need. Is like they need to be the shit beat out of them, excuse my language, but that's what they need, because that's all they understand. These kids are learning this behavior from their parents. You know, I grew up in a small town in Texas, and you know, I'm older, so it was like hearing the N-word around me was normal. And I grew up on the line, you know, when towns were divided by railroad tracks. If you crossed over the railroad track, you went to what they called the black side of town. And I hung out over there because that's where all my friends were. But white people were afraid to go over there. And it's still happening to this day. And it's these parents teaching their kids these learned behaviors, and they bring it to school and they don't see anything wrong with it. And teachers aren't correct this behavior.
Because they're racist too. And let's talk about this. Let me interject something. I'm so sorry, Ruben. I just want to interject something. First of all, do not treat me the same, because I'm not eating no macaroni and cheese with no raisins in it. So no, don't treat me the same, but treat me equal.
Yes.
And treat my kids equal.
Yeah.
Like at my son's school, they were saying some racist things about Mexicans. They were saying Mexicans were stupid. They were saying that Mexicans were stupid, and that Trump comes, you know, he's going to kick them all out. This was the stuff they were saying at the school. Now, nobody, no administrator, no teacher had no problems with them saying that, right? But when my son said something about what he could do to Trump if he had the means, what he would do to Trump, then there was a problem. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think
then there was a problem. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, nothing happened to my son because my son was smart enough to say if he had the means, and they know he didn't have the means, right? But what about what preceded that? Because he just didn't come out of the blue to say what he said. You get what I'm saying? But all the focus was in on what he said instead of what came before that. You get what I'm saying? It's no different than when I got suspended for fighting, right? Yep. I got suspended for fighting, but they didn't say that those kids had been bullying me and bullying me for a long time, and I just took it. But when they put their hands on me, I whooped that. Now I'm not going to start no fight, but I'm not, you know, I'm not MLK, and I'm not Malcolm X either. What I am is, you don't start nothing, there won't be nothing. But if you call me and mine an N-word, and I can catch you, you's about to catch these hands.
And what's sad is if you're a person of color, if you're black, you're going to get suspended, or if you're Mexican, you're going to get suspended more times than a white kid is. White kid's not going to get suspended. The black kid's going to get suspended. That's the sad thing.
Because so even there's a study, and even some of our allies or non-allies have admitted to it. They've been caught with weed. They've been caught with cocaine. You know what I know happened to them?
Slap on the wrist.
No, not the cop took the stuff and
Yep.
told him that he better not catch him no more with it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because you're going to ruin your life, and I want to put a mark on your record.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we just walk down the street. We don't have to have no weed. We don't have to have no coke. What you doing? What you belong here? I'm an American citizen. My ancestors built this country for free. You built your wealth on the backs of my ancestors, and then you stripped when they had wealth. You stripped it from it because you don't want us to have anything. So we keep on having to start over. So again, you're not going to sit up here. Oh, I'm about to get on my rant. You're not going to sit up here and tell me or ask me why am I doing here because my ancestors built this country.
Yeah, and I think that.
And you can, your second gen, like, I'm just using my husband as an example. I'm so sorry. But my father-in-law on his father's side is first generation American. His father is first generation America, but he thinks he got more rights to this country as a first generation America than I do, who my generations go back.
Right.
I can trace my roots here until the 1700s.
Yeah.
So my people been here for centuries. But you
Sorry,
first generation. You first
Sorry.
generation, and you think you got on his paternal side, he's first generation. His father my husband's grandfather was an immigrant. On the mother's side, on his father's mother's side, he's second generation. My husband's grandparents were immigrants. And on both sides of on his mother's side, my husband's grandparents are first generation Americans, right? One of them or both of them?
Both of them.
Both of them the first generation. But they walk around using the N-word. You get what I'm saying? So that psychology.
They don't walk around anymore, by the way.
They don't walk around anymore, but back in the day, they did evolve and stop that for the most part. But again, what I'm trying to tell you is that that's some systematic where people who literally built this country, literally built the White House, the cotton industry, the tobacco industry, all that on our backs. Right?
Facts.
Yeah,
right?
Facts.
You have medical, you have blood transfusions because of a black man. You have stoplights because of a black person. You have the iron because of a black person. But you come here, you ain't even been here, your people ain't been here centuries, and you think you better than me? That's some sick stuff, but it's systematic because that's what's fed to them over and over again. If you travel most of this globe, right? The propaganda that they spread about Black Americans, other Blacks in other parts of the country be like, y'all always complaining.
Well, they teach like when people come from other countries, China or Germany or whatever, when they go through customs and all that, they take certain what classes do they take when they come over here before they get their citizenship?
I don't know. I don't know what they
Well,
teach.
they teach them that we are not to be trusted. They teach them that. And I learned that from an Indian woman. In her class, they taught her that don't trust us, we steal, we're thieves. And so that's the picture that they get from us when they come over here, which I think is really, really bad. But as far as this school thing, I really just can't believe that it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Like to even think of putting that up on a tree, like as much things that are going on in the world today, for us fighting for our rights. And just within the last 5 years, the things that we've had go on, Black Lives Matter. To think that it's okay to do that, it's just like, it reminds me of police killings. Like, we've been getting killed. Our ancestors and our grandmothers and grandmothers' families been getting killed since long time ago, before we had the phone to videotape.
And
Before we were
mentioned
able
this
to
before.
videotape,
You
we
mentioned this
would
before.
go to court and try to plead our case. But
Right. You mentioned
do you have evidence?
right.
Well, Johnny Jew from down the street said he seen him. Well, well, that's not good enough evidence. But now we got cameras.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, we got you on tape and you still think it's okay.
Right.
When George Floyd died, through the case, while we were trying to figure out why, it was still police still killing people, like knee on neck. Like,
and that's why the body cam, and that's why the body footage, and that's why the camera footage of Tyre Nichols being beaten by millions of police officers was released in the first fucking place.
Yeah.
You know, and
can I say something about that too? Now, all these Black people been getting killed by these, and let's make this clear. It's not just Black people, but it's predominantly Black people who are killed unarmed. But they get some poor white people and some Mexicans too, and some Asians. Don't sleep on that. They'll get them too, but it's their target for sure is Black people. So with that said, don't you guys think it's funny that out of all these different cases, how they defending the officers, they making excuses for the officers get desk duty with pay or on leave with pay for the most part, but them black officers did it fired.
They got that one white guy though that was with them. He got desk duty.
The one guy got desk duty, but the rest of the black guys,
yeah, the white
they
guy,
fired.
They kept the white guy, but they got rid of the black guys.
Are you serious? I thought they let the white guy go.
I think he resigned.
He might have resigned.
But I think
but they kept they didn't post his picture.
But they didn't post
his picture.
And they didn't post his picture. And then you know how they always usually post the officers not in civilian clothes but their uniform? When they were posting the black guys, they weren't in uniform. They were just regular pictures. You get what I'm saying?
No, they were in uniform.
Well, the ones I saw, a lot of times they were posting them in their civilian clothes and not their uniforms.
No, the ones I saw, they had all 5 of them in their pictures. And the reason why I remember, because when it happened, I was like, no way. Like, no way they did that like that. But they
did post that, but a lot of other news outlets were actually posting them in civilian clothes.
Wow! Every time I see them, they were in their uniforms.
I'll find you some articles and I'll have them.
Going back to the situation at this elementary school, it is a surprising fact. The surprising fact about it is that this was done at an elementary school. And I don't think children were born racist. It was mostly the cards that I've talked. The cards were like basically done based on their environment, and I honestly think that racism is taught. And Mom mentioned this in many episodes before when Ron DeSantis was trying to get rid of the African American courses. Like, she hopes that the parents teach their children about racism and what's been going on in our country and why is it been going on in our country and why we're still learning about this. And and get this, a mother had to pull her daughter out of that school due to harassment and her mother had to pull her out of that school due to harassment and it repeatedly happened, and the Upland Unified School District was aware, but they didn't even do jack shit about it. And another set of parents have 3 children who attended the school, and their daughter has been targeted of racism as well.
And it just showed you where they start at. They start when our children are young. They start when they are young, and they teach certain kids to be racist, and they teach certain kids to have So for my son, for instance, when he was in elementary school and he played football, he was an active kid, and every day they call it, oh, he wants it down, he wants it, he won't do this. Okay, well, he's not like Johnny. He don't go home and read a book. He go to football practice. So he probably is trying to, after he do his work, he probably is trying to shoot the paper into the basket. But their thing was, oh, we need him to see our doctor. We think he need medicine. No, he don't. And I got a doctor. Why would I send him to your doctor? I have a doctor. Why would I send him to your doctor, first of all? And why you think you need medicine? For what? I got medicine. It's called a thick strip of leather that hang up in the closet. That's the medicine. But it's just
I got verbal medicine. Get the fuck up out of here with the bullshit.
Hey, my son, he didn't need no medicine, not their medicine. But a lot of kids that went to school with him, that's what they did. And little by little, the African American community that went to that school with him, they just was trickling out. So to me, it just makes me feel like that's where they start at to make the kids feel like they do. So it's taught at home and they continue it in the schools.
I think we as an environment, and I've been saying this a lot of times before, we just need to do better.
As a culture, yes, as well.
The American culture. Ain't nothing wrong with the Black culture. Okay, so y'all ready for some updates? Up next, the Los Angeles County has agreed to pay Kobe Bryant's widow, Vanessa, millions of dollars to settle a lawsuit following the images of the helicopter crash in 2020, where Kobe and their 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, and 7 passengers perished. According to ABC News, several months after the crash took place, Vanessa filed a lawsuit against the Los Angeles County after the first responders allegedly took graphic photos of human corpses at the scene as souvenirs and shared with others. Vanessa claimed that she was suffering from emotional distress, and her lawsuit consists of invasion of privacy and negligence. Vanessa was awarded $16 million in that lawsuit last August. Guys, what are your thoughts on this lawsuit settlement, especially after knowing that Vanessa has been going through a lot after suffering from the tragic loss? There's just one point, and then I would like to make about this. What I really found disgusting is that allegedly the Los Angeles County had were allegedly saving shots of her Instagram, showing her that she was okay, that she was happy, that she was taking her kids to Disneyland, and that she was living her best life, after the death of her husband, and her daughter Gianna. And I would just like to point out that grief, there is no one way to grieve, but she did. I believe she grieved for as long as she could, with the responsibility of other children to take care of, and life does go on. But just because you can smile and look pretty and take your kids and function in this world does not mean that you're not suffering and you're not in grief.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on this?
Can I just mention the one thing that I still can't believe I am hearing that this has happened? I mean, first of all, hasn't this woman suffered enough? Because get this, not only for Vanessa, not only did she lost the love of her life, she lost her child. And as far as the other family members, not only did they lost the love of their life, not only did they lost the love of their life, they also lost their child. And there was another family. Get this, there was another family who lost their parents and they lost their sibling. And the fact that someone could be so callous and insensitive of taking photographs of dead bodies, that is gonna of course that's gonna cause a lot of emotional distress and anxiety to Vanessa, because one of the sheriffs was in the bar and one of Kobe's fans who was at the bar reported it, and and CNN CNN claimed that the surface of those photos, gave her depression, anxiety, and emotional distress. So when it comes to Vanessa as a mom, I can't begin to imagine her reaction when she found out that the officers took unauthorized photos of that crash scene, especially after going through a loss that felt like a horror movie.
I think that was very unprofessional, first of all. I watched Vanessa after that because I felt so bad for her. I felt so bad for her. And as I watched her, I could tell she was grieving, but she was really trying to stay strong for her kids. Like, you can just see it. And as a mother, I saw that in her, that she was really trying to stay strong for her kids, but you can just tell she was tearing up inside. It was tearing her up inside. And she deserved what she deserved more, actually, but she deserved to put that lawsuit against them for that. And as far as them trying to make a different picture of her, making it seem like she was just living this happy life after after the crash, I think that was very disrespectful.
It really
I think
is.
that was very
Because a
disrespectful.
month into the grieving process, Vanessa was informed that the photos of the dead bodies were circulating on the internet. Fucking
Yeah.
ridiculous.
That's disrespectful.
Yeah, just don't take the photos at all. Just don't take the photos. They were dead wrong to do so anyway. The officers were 1,000,000%. They dropped the ball, and I just don't even know. It was just awful.
But that's just what social media is today. Like, it's all about pull your phone out, pull your phone out. Everybody's pulling the phone out. She had a lady her son was passing away, and she'd rather go live than get, he dying, he bleeding, shot up, and you rather go live on Instagram than get this help for your child. It's just overrated. People have just really went overboard with it.
I've seen that. I saw recently. I saw a grandmother, and she was on that Next Door Neighbor app, and she posted, her grandson with all kinds of tubes and asked for prayers. And I was like, well, couldn't you just did his school picture and ask for prayers? Why did you have to show him all up in the hospital bed like that? And then, struggling to breathe, and then he got better, and but she's still showing him in the hospital bed, and I'm praying for the kid's recovery, and I hope he's okay. And I really don't know what happened to him, because I couldn't get past, like, what is this? Is this for him, or is this for you to seek attention and validation and sympathy? And I'm gonna say in probably a GoFundMe page that I don't know about, but you get what I'm saying. It's just the things that people, the things that people do. I have to tell you that sometimes I take pictures when I eat because the food looks so good, and I might want to post it, and then I don't post it, so I just wasted the time taking the picture. But sometimes I do that, but you don't have to show every aspect of yourself, and you need to start enjoying life more instead of always trying to share it. Because if you're always trying to share, are you really trying to enjoy life? And back to the this right here, you're not even trying to enjoy life. What you're trying to do, in my opinion, is prove that you were at the accident when this tragedy happened. This legend, this living, once upon a time living legend of basketball. You're trying to capture, like they said, a souvenir. And then, and I'm going to say it, and in my opinion, in my humble opinion, and a couple of them probably out there going to be able to make some cash with TMZ or somebody else,
Wow.
Images. So,
wow.
But it was just disrespectful,
It really was. It really was. And
it was just really disrespectful. And I hope those people, I don't know what happened to them, but I hope some of them lost their job, because some of them should have lost their job.
Right.
And total lack of decency and empathy.
It really is. And I'm gonna let Uncle Ruben give his thoughts about this. But one thing that I forgot to mention is that she's now a single mother of 3 children. So if her children go on the internet and see those photos, they're gonna add emotional distress and anxiety on them. And I just really can't imagine, because let's not forget this. Vanessa Bryant lost Kobe Gianna. She's been going through a lot with her mother, and she's been having to deal with a lawsuit against the Los Angeles County Sheriff for taking alleged photographs. And I just can't imagine that grief, because I don't know if the Los Angeles County has probably like issued an apology. They probably haven't, but even if they did, that's never going to bring back any of those children back who were involved in that fatal helicopter crash, and the pain of that horror movie will not ever go away.
Mm. It's a priceless situation. Very priceless. But people, it's the likes and the validation, boy. The likes and the validation is just really on the rise.
Uncle Ruben?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you think about, I'm happy that she was able to get her settlement with the LA County, and it's, as everybody was saying here, the likes and validation, people trying the paparazzi moment, pulling out their phones, and it reminds me of that series, Black Mirror. I don't know if y'all watched that on Netflix. It's a crazy show, but there was an episode where this girl was going through all this. She was getting beaten and chased, and everybody was just pulling out their phones and videotaping this situation that was going on. Instead of calling for help, they were just watching it as it was going by, like a train wreck. They were just taking video of it and not responding to it. And it was like, it's the same scenario where people want this moment that they can say, like Eve said, that they were there, that they had that opportunity. Oh, I got this picture. Oh, I can sell this picture, maybe get rich. I can do this, I can do that. They're not taking into consideration how the mother's gonna feel, how the family's gonna feel, how the other family's gonna feel. They're not even considering that there are people that are on the other side. They didn't even take into consideration of that. If those pictures get online, they're forever there online. Mm-hmm. You can go search those and they're probably still there. And those kids are gonna grow up, and if they may happen to stumble upon them, if they search their father, they want to know about their father, and they search Kobe Bryant, they may fall upon those pictures of their father online and see those are the first thing that pops up because other people are searching that. Now the mother now has to explain why there are pictures of her dead father online. And that's another story that they have to deal with, and counseling and other things that have to happen. So whatever money she got is nothing with all the amounts of counseling she's going to have to do, raising kids she's going to have to do. So good on her, and hopefully it helps her live a better life, and hopefully the kids can move on, and it's a sad situation overall. So that's just my opinion.
Okay, so a local Chick-fil-A at Pennsylvania at Pennsylvania is not clucking around in our last story this week. On February 22nd, its franchise location in Royalsford, Pennsylvania, announced that it would not allow unaccompanied children under 16 to dine at this location. According to Today, the announcement was issued on the Facebook page, pointed out a collection of unacceptable behavior consisting of loud volume with explicit language. In the statement, the Facebook post stated, "We want to provide a comfortable and safe environment for our guests and our staff, and also to protect our building." So guys, what do you think of Chick-fil-A's decision to requiring children and teenagers being accompanied by parents? I think they went a little too far with that. I think they went a little too far.
Other than that, I'm not surprised that this is happening. Because,
you really?
Yeah, I'm not surprised that this is really happening. I don't have that much to say about this.
Well, I think that I know that kids do get loud. You do have kids that get very disrespectful, but what about the ones who don't? So do you get security or do you call the police? But I don't think every kid should be accompanied by a parent. And if you think about like stores that are in the community of schools, they have like a security at the door where only two minors can come in at a time. They don't let them come in and with a bunch of them at one time. But I do understand the loudness and the disrespect, the language, and all that, because I see that all the time. That happens a lot. But to just say nobody under 16 can come in here without a parent, I think that's taking it a little far.
So what was happening in the store, I guess, their parents were dropping them off at a bounce house. And from that bounce house, they would walk over to Chick-fil-A. And I guess they were just sitting there and hanging out. And they weren't, I don't know if they were buying food, but they didn't stop kids from walking into the store and buying food. They can still get to-go orders. But they weren't allowing these kids to just sit there and buy food and just hang out and whatnot. So they weren't allowing them to congregate and just take up seats or whatever. So in the story, that's what was going on. So this is just some background. Chick-fil-A has one of the higher franchise fees that people have to pay. So those franchise owners, they're going to do whatever it takes to get that money. So if they've got kids that are disrupting their business, they're going to do whatever it takes to keep that money rolling in. And you heard, I was reading through the article real quick, and people were like, I'm glad you banned these kids because they were rude and making my visit unpleasant and stuff like that. So in my opinion, I guess or just my estimation, I don't know, because I wasn't there. I've never been there, but I guess they were just hanging out and just sitting there. And I was young at one point. So I used to loiter at some places. So I know I was loud and obnoxious, and I still cuss a lot. So I probably cussed too much when I was younger. So I'm sure they probably doing the same thing I did when I was younger. So probably understood where they're coming from. But, Chick-fil-A has a lot of suspect behaviors. So I can understand it from both sides, Chick-fil-A and their behaviors, but I also understand it from a business side where if it ain't making me money, get the hell out of my store. So I can see it from both sides.
Well, I thought they weren't letting them come in, period.
They could get to go.
Oh, to go. Oh, yeah. I agree with that. Because they can be real disrespectful. Some of them don't even respect their own parents. So if they ain't respecting their parents, boy.
Get Joe Frost on them. Get Superintendent Joe Frost on them.
Wow.
Watch your kids. Watch your kids, people.
Yeah, that's the other part of it too.
That's why they're getting banned from places, because you don't be raising them. You let the iPad raise them. You let the PlayStation 5
that's the other
raise
part.
them.
Watch your kids.
Especially parents don't like it and they do them for them.
They don't even know how to act. They think everything is Fortnite. So let me say this. It's not a public business. It's a private business. So as a private owner, if you don't want minors in there unsupervised, go for it. Because like Ruben said, they have to make their money. And them kids loitering, not buying nothing, being loud, being disruptive. And they like to do those spitballs with the straws and stuff. No, I'm with it, because people don't want to raise their kids. They always mad about, and then when the kid do something, oh, it's just a kid. Okay, just my fist. Just my fist.
Right.
Just my fist. Get your kids.
Uh-huh. And then when you get on them, then they want to fight. When they should have been whooping them. Or
Now look,
I'm
I
ready to work.
can't box, but man, I'll windmill you to death. I will windmill you to death. You can catch the windmill if you want to.
A couple of them gonna land.
Oh, more than a couple, baby. That's why I got suspended. And when I got that windmill her to death, when she got down to the ground, I started stomping. The windmill and the stomp. Baby, don't play with me.
The windmill and the stomp, baby. I feel you though.
Oh
my goodness.
Wow. Yeah.
When you windmill, you pop them right in the head. They don't know what. They be thinking it was Mayweather.
Not Mayweather. They don't know what hit them.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
Well, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm happy that they. But Chick-fil-A, man. There's, but that's a private franchise, and the owners have, they have the right. Now they shouldn't be discriminating against people, but again, if they minors, they unaccompanied minors, people watch your kids, know where your kids are. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that most kids are bad, but a large percentage of them are just flat out rotten. And one of the reasons why they rotten is because their parents is not paying them no attention.
And they don't have no fear. There's no fear for my mama gonna get me. Back in the day, we'd be messing up on the bus and running our mouth, and your mama friend seen you go back home, and you in trouble.
My kids, my kids, they respectful. I'm not saying they're angels, I'm not saying they're angels, but my kids are respectful and they know how to act. They may slip up once in a while, but they're going to answer to their dad or they're going to answer to me. Mm-hmm. Now, at any given moment, I don't know which one they fear more. Like, in some ways, they fear me more, and then some ways they fear him more. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we didn't have to, we really didn't have to, it's not like, they were flowers in the attic or nothing. We were very loving parents, but they knew that, what we said go, and there was expectation on the way you carry yourself. Mm-hmm. Right. Because Ruben just be looking at them and they be like, that's me. I think I was the more hard. Yeah. When my son was bad, or not bad, because he wasn't a bad kid, but when he did something at school, they'd be like, we're going to call your mama. He straightened up. I think my son was worried about his dad, but I don't think he was worried about me, because he just told me the whole story. If he was wrong, I said, son, don't do that no more. That's inappropriate, right? But if he told me that Johnny did something to him at school, I'd be like, Solomon. You would be in jail. No, at Solomon, but he told me Johnny did something to him, but he's the one who got caught. And he tell me what it. And in school, I'd be like, Solomon, you know that we don't hit people. By the time I got to the car, I said, next time Johnny hits you, fuck him up. Fuck him all the way up. Fuck him up. Fuck Johnny up. Get him in the stairway when ain't nobody around. Fuck him up. Fuck Johnny. What's wrong with him? I don't know why he's crying. I have no idea. Fuck Johnny up. Fuck him up. I have no idea why he's crying, but I'm going to go and play basketball because I don't know what's wrong with Johnny. But you know why I told my son that? You know why I told my son that? Why? Because when you fuck Johnny up, Johnny learns not to fuck with you no more. So you don't have to choose violence all the time. You choose violence once. Like, I only had 3 fights in my life. Elementary, junior high, high school. You want to know why?
In
I was
college?
a quiet kid. I didn't mess with nobody, right? They bully me. Each new school, they bully me, right? But you only got to fuck them up one time. Once they see one person fucked up, then they say, okay, we talk shit about her, but we not gonna touch her. I mean, when I tell you I got that windmill and that stomp on lock, baby. And then let me tell you a little trick. Once you get them here, that stuns them right there, right there. Get them right there real good with that windmill. And then you do the diagonal, and that windmill come down right on the neck. I mean, they fucked up. Once you get them on the top of the head, and that diagonal windmill right to the neck, they hit the ground. And then that's when you stomp.
Shannon,
I spraying.
What'd you say, Juwan?
I was saying that you were muted.
Oh yeah, because Google keep running her mouth in the background.
But I'm just telling you, that's the science to the windmill and the stomp.
Google stop.
So, Juwan,
Yes.
you ain't got to be, you don't worry about nothing. I know you're nonviolent, but if a partner come up to you, remember the windmill. First, you get them right there at the top of the head, and then you come back with the diagonal. You get that neck. When they hit the ground, you stomp.
I'm going to just call my mom.
They is not going to fuck with you no more.
I'm going to just call my mom, and she'll do that for me.
Okay, you call me too.
And you.
I'm just a plain white. You know, we two Richmond chicks. It's a wrap.
And at that point,
press 1.
I still need that teacher's name though. That you overheard
Still
talking that
need.
shit about you not going to college though. She
Still
need a
need.
windmill.
To the neck.
and at that note, don't bring the Richmond out of anyone. Don't bring the Richmond, California out of anyone on that note.
Not on that note.
Alrighty, well, that's all the time that we have for today. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode, and thank you, of course, Uncle Ruben and Shan for being our guest co-host.
Thanks for having me.
And no problem. And we really, really hope that you become part of the Bubble Chat family in the next season or so. But who knows? It may be just a few weeks. And of course, as always, we would love to hear your thoughts about the topics that we discussed. Let us know in your reviews and comments below. And as always, subscribe to the Bubble Chat wherever you get your podcast. We have been your hosts, and until next time, bye, guys.